What is going on, ninjas? Logic here with a brand new Ninjala video, baby. And today we're gonna be discussing the new Ninjala tutorial mode in Season 5 and how it helps players and, you know, how good it is and maybe where it needs improvements and where they could have done better. If you haven't already seen the video on us playing it, I suggest you check that video out first because we just kind of give our unfiltered, just on the fly thoughts of how we feel about the tutorial. And some things might change on how I feel about the tutorial. So if you want to check that out, please check it out and then come back to this video. In this video, we're kind of gonna give a more well thought out, constructed thoughts on the beginner, the intermediate, the advanced things that it teaches us, and just an overall feel of this new revamped tutorial mode in Season 5 of Ninjala. So without wasting any more time, let's get directly into the video, baby. Okay, so in the new tutorial mode in Season 5 of Ninjala, they have 3 types of categories: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Let's take things slow for now and start off with beginner. In the beginner category, they teach us about movement, moving in general, jumping and double jumping, and dodging. I feel like throwing in dodging in the beginner pool is awesome. I see a lot of players that don't even know this option exists or barely utilize it. Putting it in the beginner tutorial early on might put it into the head of newer players that dodging is a viable option and it can be used to really help in a pinch. Okay, so our next set of the beginner tutorial teaches us about attacks, normal attacks, back attacks, wide attacks, specials, and gum ninjutsus. So everything about this part is really good. They go over all attack versions really well and how to use them. They also mention gum ninjutsu, specifically the gum tornado, having invincibility, so new players can now decide if they want to use the tornado to get ippons or to get out of sticky situations, like as if someone was gonna shoot a Fujiyama rocket at you and you wanted to get out of that situation, you could use your gum tornado to use the iframe. So it's really awesome. One thing I didn't like, and it's a small pet peeve, I really feel like they should have gone over break attacks in this set. They literally go over everything. They go over every attack: normal, back, wide, special, and, you know, gum ninjutsus. At the very least, they should tell you how to do it and not save it for intermediate. Next up in the beginner set is Ninja Gum, Inflate Gum, Gum Shoot, Gum Boost, and Gum Guard. Basically, in this set of the tutorial, they explain how to utilize your Ninja Gum, blowing up your bubble, using your gum shot, and activating your gum boost. They also teach you the usefulness of gum guarding and its defensive capabilities. After beating all the beginner tutorials, you have to do an exam where you just use everything you know to beat Van. It's pretty simple stuff. I feel like in this final exam, they should have gone over everything you've learned up until now. So I have a list of things you need to do in order to complete the exam. For example, like land a normal attack, land a back attack, land a wide attack, and like land a special attack. Pretty much have like a list of things thus far that you've learned and incorporate them into this exam. That would have been an excellent way to make this first exam better and actually retain some of that information learned. That finishes up our beginner portion of the tutorial. Let's move on to the intermediate portion of the tutorial. So some of the things that we're going to be covering is drones and weapon crafting, drones and S energy, inflating gum, weapon crafting, and crafting big weapons. In this portion of the tutorial, they teach you the importance of drones and how they give you S energy upon you destroying them. They also mention how to make your big weapon and just how many S energy bars you need. They also make a good point of mentioning that you get a bonus for getting the most drones in a match. I don't think I have much of a problem with this portion. I really like that they mentioned that crafting your big weapon makes you vulnerable, so you should make sure your surroundings are clear or you have optimal time. Okay, so next up in the intermediate tutorial is ippons. They go over what exactly you need to do in order to garner a ippon, gum bind, and gum ninjutsu. They make a good point of saying you need to gum bind your opponent in order for it to count as an ippon. They also mention that if you get a KO with a gum ninjutsu, it will be counted as an ippon. They also mentioned that if you have the most ippons at the end of a match, you will get Ippon Master, which will grant you bonus points. They don't specifically mention that it's going to give you 1,000 points, but they mention that it's going to give you a bonus. The next category in this intermediate tutorial is Gum Break. More specifically, Break Attack and Break Attack Ippons. I still feel like break attacks itself should have been brought up way before now. They didn't have to tell us about break attacks being able to gum bind by breaking gum guard or breaking S-burst, but it would have been beneficial to just tell us like what a break attack is and get familiar with the button. Later on, they could have mentioned, oh, the break attack has more uses than you think, and that's when they could segue into its ability to break gum guard and S-burst. In this next portion of the intermediate tutorial, they go over the parry system, which I feel like is very important. New players till this day still get very confused on the rock, paper, scissors system, so having a definitive guide in-game is super helpful. Information like this, players shouldn't have to go out of their way to get. It's nice having it all in-game for players to learn. In this parry portion of the intermediate tutorial, they go over all parry directions, and what I like is that they explain just which weapons have armor on their parry moves, so players know exactly which weapons they should watch out for. Also, in this parry guide, they explain how to dodge an S-burst and breaking an S-burst, which they should make it a point to mention all of these things. A lot of newer players are always shocked and surprised when you mention that you can actually dash out of parries. So putting this in a tutorial is really good, and I can get behind that. Also, they mentioned breaking S-burst with break attack, and I still think this should have been brought up earlier. I know I keep beating the dead horse, but as long as they just brought it up, it's still good. The information is still there. Okay, so for the intermediate exam, they have you make a big weapon and defeat Van. Once again, I feel like the midterm exam should have you do everything you have learned thus far in one big session. That way information is retained better. Okay, so last but definitely not least is advanced techniques. We have auto target, transforming, clashing big weapons, and pairing with hammers. In my honest opinion, there is nothing really advanced about auto target. You only press like R3. I feel like it should have been in the beginner set, but like I said, that's just my opinion. I personally don't think there's anything advanced about it. As far as this advanced section goes, they teach you about transforming and how you can recover life faster by transforming. They also mentioned how to use Utsumi and how to turn into a Utsumi. One really cool thing that they brought up as well was the clashing of big weapons in a parry struggle. If you and your opponent pick the same direction, but one of you have a big weapon and the other doesn't, the ninja with the big weapon will win the clash. A lot of the ninjas at the start of the game have no idea about this, so them explaining it like clear and concise really is going to help those newer players. Lastly, they bring up pairing with hammers and how it gives you armor, which is really weird because they mentioned armor on parries in the intermediate section. I don't know why it's in advanced and not in intermediate. To instantly follow up on what they just taught you for parry struggles, they not only should have had pairing with hammers, but also pairing with yo-yos and pairing with boards, so that you can get an idea of which weapons have armor. This is a small oversight and not a huge deal, but when you make a tutorial, something that might seem like common sense to me might not seem like common sense to another user. So you have to make sure you have every possible variable, or at least close to it. Okay, so for the final part of this advanced tutorial section, we have the final exam. What they want us to do is score an Ippon against the opponent. Pretty simple stuff. Just like the other exams, I feel like it should have had you go over everything you've learned thus far. Okay, so that's gonna be it for the new Season 5 Ninjala tutorial. Overall, on how I feel about the new tutorial, they did a good job explaining the basics. I feel like if a new player does this tutorial, they will be able to get a general idea on what Ninjala is about. It will still take them time to adjust, but they will be able to learn the game faster. I don't necessarily agree where some of these are placed, but I think that's just a pet peeve of mine. And it doesn't necessarily ruin the whole tutorial. One thing that should have gotten mentioned was the wall though. When you wall splat a ninja, you have the ability to extend a combo. That should have, in the very slightest, been mentioned in the tutorial. I play a lot of fighting games, and the one thing that fighting games fail on, except for Guilty Gear, is the tutorial. Fighting games really don't tell you much. They're starting to get better, but a lot of the times you have to go to external sources to learn almost anything. Ninjala could be the pioneer of tutorials and start putting advanced tech into the game, like how to jump cancel, how to extend combos on the wall, how to do normal attacks and cancel into a gum ninjutsu. Like there's so many things that they could cover to bring this tutorial to fruition. And I'm not saying they have to do this, but it could make the world of a difference and could make Ninjala the golden standard when it comes to tutorials in the gaming world. And I used to think that we don't really need advanced tech in tutorials, but then I started to notice like no other game does it. So like maybe we should start putting like advanced tech into our tutorials in these video games. It could go a long way. All in all, those are my overall thoughts on the new tutorial mode. Altogether, I think that they did a good job, but I still think there is room for improvement. With that being said, it wouldn't be a Logic video without a Ninjala fashion showcase baby. Today's winner is Nyx. Wait, what's that? I'm getting word on something. Turns out the Ninjala fashion showcase has been postponed. It seems like today we're doing something different. Welcome to the Ninjala fashion roast case. That's right, I'm not playing with you no more. Nice outfit, black and red, edgy. Nice red and white mask, your breath probably stank, so keep that mask on, baby. Nice shoes, I see you got on 2 different types of shoelaces. You thought that was cute? No! Nice default gum bottle in the back. Yeah, you think I wasn't gonna see it, huh? If you don't get in the store this instant and buy you some gum bottle drip, not even the gum lords themselves will be able to save you. Congratulations to Nyx for winning the first ever Ninjala fashion roast case. His ninja will forever go down in history as one of the most broke ninjas. If you want to have a chance to be on the Ninjala fashion roast case, all you gotta do is send me your ninja submission on Twitter and/or Instagram, or you can post in our dedicated Discord Ninjala fashion showcase baby. With that being said, that puts a close on our Ninjala Season 5 tutorial overview. What do you think of the new tutorial mode? Do you think it offers enough for new players, or does it need more? Let me know your answers down in the comments below. If you liked the video, please do give it a thumbs up, as it really helps your boy out a ton. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do check it out. It really is an awesome place that has come a very long way. This has been Logic, and I will see you in the next chapter.